Okay, here's a part 2 of the hachigane video. Once you have your headpiece pounded out and you have your holes drilled in, I already did all that. This one I'm making, I cut into 3 sections, added some more holes in the side for some chain, and I put these decorative notches that are a 1/4 inch in, 1/4 inch down. Pretty simple. Everything on here is measured out very simply. You know, there's no specific measurements that I use besides on these corners. The holes I put in just, you know, from the center here, the center from either side, I drew a line and then I went a little bit off to each side, usually, like I said, about a 1/2 inch spacing. So there really is no measurements that are exact. It's all what the size of your headband is. Now if this was a solid piece, let's see if you guys can get a better view of this. If this was a solid piece like this, I probably would have had these holes a little bit closer together, and I wouldn't have had these side ones. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of holes. And these are all, like I said, measured into the center. You can see that center line, and I measured out. On this one you can see the center line and just measured out. Very simple. These holes are in line with this 1/4 inch, and then I think they're a 1/4 inch in from here. So that's pretty much drilling the holes. It's not very hard. I drill all these with a hand drill. I don't use any high-tech tools or anything like that. But once you have this set, you're going to need your headband. Now you can go to Joann Fabrics or wherever you can get fabric from and get whatever color you want. Fabric's really cheap, so. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want your piece, your headband to be a 1/2 inch bigger than however big your plate is, and that's for a certain reason. So this is 2 1/4 wide. I cut a piece that was 2 1/4 wide. Actually, no, sorry. I doubled that and added a little bit more, so actually it's about 5 3/4 wide. So when I doubled it over and started stitching it, I could turn it inside out and it would be like a pocket with a nice hidden seam. So that's really the only difficult part about this process, is getting this sewn. If you know how to use a sewing machine, you have no problem. If you can find someone to use a sewing machine for and help you out, even better. So this is 42 inches long. That's the normal length I use. The next piece you're going to need is a piece of foam to go inside of here to use as padding. If you go to Michael's, they sell foam. This is a 1/4 inch thick. It's a pretty good foam. There's a lot of uses for this stuff, and it's really cheap. So the design, you can leave a square. I just cut these corners off. That's just what I do. You're going to want this a little bit longer than your total piece. So if your piece is laying on here, like so, it's a little bit longer just so you have some extra padding on the outside, and when it all bends around, you're not losing anything. The width of it, this is an 1/8 inch wider than your piece of metal, just so you're not running on the edge of it. So then all you do is you slide this inside. You go ahead and you find the middle of your headband, place your piece of metal on, and then you start sewing. The next video is going to be on the stitching the leather. Hopefully I'll have all three of these up at the same time. That was my plan. But as you can see, once you center it out and you start stitching it in there, you see how you get a nice, little extra fabric on the outside. If you want to make your fabric, thinner, so you don't have this extra fabric, I like it. It gives it, a little more depth to it. But that's up to you. You can experiment with different sizes and different widths and all that. So that's really about it for the hachigane, besides the stitching of the leather, which I said will be in the next video. The how-to vid on this isn't as great as I was hoping it was going to be, but hopefully it will help you guys out in figuring out what you want to do. Like I said, there is a multitude of designs you can do. You can go online and see a bunch of different ones. I am going to keep doing these how-to videos. I do have the kunai coming up. I do have the kakute, a spiked ring. I plan on doing the keitsushoye, kusarigama, and maybe a couple other ones. So I'm gonna keep doing these. Give you guys some input on how to make your own weapons and tools. The more I think of, the more I'll do. So we'll see how that goes. And that's about it. So the next video that'll be up will be on how to sew. It won't be this plate. It's going to be a different plate just for the ease of me showing it on video. It's a smaller plate that I just threw together real quick. So that's about it for this. I think the next video I'm going to do is going to be on the kakute, the spiked rings, which are surprisingly easy to make if you have the tools. So enjoy. Try and make one of these. They're pretty simple. And check out the next video that's coming up on the kakute.